Welcome to On The Bit. I'm Dave from Dream Thoroughbreds, and with me is Lenny from Bluegrass Bloodstock. How are you, Lenny?
Good day.
That's good, mate. Golden Slipper Day at Rosehill, mate. Probably my favourite day in the Sydney Carnival.
Definitely.
10 races, 5 Group 1s, highlight of the racing, one of the highlights of the racing year, and I'm very confident this weekend, mate.
You are?
Very confident on the punt. You know when you get that day when you're very confident? Saturday Rosehill is the day. So first Group 1, mate, $3.5 million Golden Slipper for 2-year-olds over 1,200 metres. What do you like, mate?
Dave, hard to go past the Melbourne Colts for myself. The form around them is strong. I'm thinking the Extreme Choice has a benefit of going the Sydney way before, and he's drawn extremely well. The stable are sort of saying Flying Artie, and there's a sense of timing about it. So Ollie's stuck with this horse. Obviously they ran second in the Blue Diamond. Probably it's drawn a gate this time, so you want to probably use it. But geez, I could see them both Quinella in the race again. The way that they're going, if they've handled the trip up and all that. So yeah, on a bit Flying Artie, but I'd say Extreme Choice will be right there.
Yeah, a lot of horses drawn wide here that are going to try and get a good position here forward of the pack. Makes for a high pressure race, I reckon. My tip to win this year's Slipper is Astern. He's drawn barrier 17, but I'll remind you last year that you laid Vancouver from barrier 17 and or 16, and he won. So Astern's from 17, both by the same side, Medaglia d'Oro. Astern has Scarlet Rain drawn inside him. Scarlet Rain will definitely try and lead and go and shoot out. She's led at every one of her 3 starts, and she's only got one way of racing. So that will help Astern get across, I think. So he'll get across the field and settle in the first half. He trialled last Thursday. He was explosive, running the second fastest time in the 13 trials of the morning, and there were open age trials that morning. I just think this horse is flying. He's got Jay Mack aboard, and he's one of the best Group 1 jockeys in the land. Forget about the barrier. When Jay Mack has him box seated after 400, mate, you'll want to be on him. He's $10 each way. I think he's absolutely on the bit. And I'll also declare this, mate, that Flying Artie will definitely beat Extreme Choice wherever they finish, I reckon. I think the $5 is better value for Flying Artie from barrier 4. I don't think Oliver will have him back at the pack like he did from that barrier. I think he'll be take it forward sit. But I just think it's hard for these Melbourne horses to peak 3 weeks later, because Mick Price normally has his horse rock hard fit for these grand finals. And, so I worry a bit about the Mick Price horses. We'll see. Second big Group 1, mate, is the George Ryder Stakes. Weight for age over 1,600, $1 million race, mate. And who's your tip in the George Ryder?
Dave, it's pretty cut and dry for me. I'd take the short price. Wink's the best horse going around. It's weight for age. She's got an explosive turn of foot. I can't see anything beaten. I know she hasn't probably raced against the best this time in. The fields have been, sort of second rate for Group 1 fields, but she's the best horse in Australia. So yeah.
All right, I think Winks gets beat. I think Turn Me Loose gets an absolute soft lead here and controls the race. Rock hard fit after 2 runs, third up at the mile. Should get through his first 800 in just 48 seconds. Sprint home his last 400 and sort of 20. Well, his last 635, last 423. Winks would have to run sub 33 seconds to pick him up. I just don't know if this is Winks' grand final. I reckon her grand final is 3 weeks' time in the Queen Elizabeth. And I reckon this is Turn Me Loose's grand final, because you can't win the Doncaster in 2 weeks' time off his handicap. I think at $8 he is to win. He's $1.80 the place. I reckon it's a better price than Winks to win at $1.70. So I reckon his value, he's on the bit for me. Third Group 1 is the Rosehill Guineas over 2,000 metres for 3-year-olds. Worth 600,000, mate. And who do you like in the Guineas?
Jamaica, Dave. The filly. I'm not sure. I think he'll run from the gate, but I think she's got the race smarts to get across. Beat Tarzino in the spring over 2,000 third up. Same here. I think Tarzino's a very good horse, but I think Barrier 2 won't really suit him. Might get a little bit of bad luck, maybe. But I like Jamaica at the 650, so she's on the bit for mine.
I thought there was 3 live chances in this race, and but they're all going to be giving the leaders a big start midway through the race. I thought there was. I've settled on Van Berg due to the Hugh Bowman factor. I just think there's no better jockey in a distance race in Australia than our Huey. He rides with a nice long rein, which sort of enables horses to relax and extend at the end of the race. Van Berg was in the Australian Guineas last start, well short of his best distance, but he had the flashing light on him. He was poking through the field very late and looked very strong over the last 100. So to me, he was the horse of getting his fitness up and crying out for 2,000. He was $9 each way. I just definitely thought he was on the bit. Tarzino's his biggest danger, definitely the best performed horse in the race. He'll be giving him a big start, but the first time around, Sydney way of going may be the little bit of a problem. I'll just be gun shy of taking the $2.50, and I think the value lies in Van Berg. But I also like the horse Montaigne. There's the other horse with a winning chance here. His last 2 runs in Sydney against Press Statement and Lee Romain have been a horse again crying out for 2,000 metres. I think he'll be very strong at the end of this race. I think he's a chance of causing the upset. He's $10 in good value. I would box them 3 in Quinellas and tries. I reckon you can get a good result here. I'm very, very confident in that race. Very confident. The 4th Group 1 is the Galaxy Handicap over 1,100, mate. And one of your horses, Malaguera, is Emergency.
Yeah, that sadly won't get a run, Dave, doesn't look like. Did the form on him, but I really like Fell Swoop. And I think he's a dominant horse on the way up. Was just touched out in the Oakley Plate. Has a really nice weight here. These horses down in the weights and these big handicaps tend to perform. And it's currently 650 with the bookies, so Fell Swoop for mine.
I think there's an absolute moral in this race, mate.
Yeah.
Fell Swoop will just win this. Very unlucky not to win the Oakley Plate 3 weeks ago under the same conditions, but this time he's at Rose Hill. He's 2 from 2 at Rose Hill. He's 2 from 2 second up, and he's a winner at the course and distance. He's drawn to get a gun run behind a couple of speedsters here, and when he unleashes that sprint, he will just win on Saturday. If I can get 650, I'll just go to town on it. I think he's an absolute moral. Final Group 1 is the $700,000 Randvet Stakes at weight for age over 2,000, mate. An interesting race.
Interesting, Dave, yeah.
Yeah, what do you like in this, mate?
Probably a horse that didn't run really well, but that was an unsuitable distance first up, but he's the best horse in the field, that's Criterion. He hit the 9 okay, and I'll appreciate the 2,000 here at weight for age. His second up record's exceptional. He's been to money 4 of 7 starts. He ran second in last year's Cox Plate to Winks over 2,000. Won the Caulfield Stakes over 2,000. Won the $4 million Queen Elizabeth. They're exceptional form references for a horse running over 2,000 at the highest level, and no one in that field can match that. I'll be happy enough to take the $5, thinking at second up he's going to perform and he'd be too good.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I'm tipping Horaki to win off the back of 2 excellent runs at his previous 2 starts. Again, another horse seems to be crying out for the 2,000. He's drawn nicely, expect him to sit handier to the lead than his last 2 starts. Again, J-Mac goes on. I think he'll probably try and control the race. And he takes a run 2 to get into fitness, this horse. I think he'll be cherry ripe, but $3.80 isn't really flash. But I agree, Criterion is the best horse in the race, and there's a little bit of rain around, and the track is a little bit softish. He will excel. He loves Rose Hill. He loves the 2,000, as you've mentioned. And if he wins and he pays $5, we'll be shaking our heads going, how do we leave the best horse in the race out? So I wouldn't let him go around without me on him, because I do think he absolutely is the best horse in that race. So that's one of the Group 1s I'm actually not that hot on. The other 4 I am. Stable news, mate. It's been a quiet week for Dream Thoroughbreds this week, and yourself?
Quiet week,
yeah, it is a quiet week. So we'll push on because we've had the 5 Group 1s. We'll go on to our best on breeding for the weekend, mate.
Onerous, Dave. Race 7, number 13. We actually saw a yearling go through. That was a grey, just at the Melbourne
Full or
Premier.
half,
I think it was a full.
Yeah.
Melbourne Premier Yearling Sale. This one was withdrawn. So it was by Dash for Cash. She won the Australian Guineas out of the Group 3 place mare Amoroso. She's a full sister. Onerous is a full sister to the Group 2 winner in Arenosa. It was a gun and won multiple group races.
Value bets. I'm going, well, last week I gave you Badawaya and she was $6. Now, value bets don't have to be double price figures, but she was overs at $6 and she won like a good thing. This week, I'm going with Rose Hill Race 9, number 2, Geronte. She's another emergency in the Galaxy, but they're running her in the Fillies and Mares race, which is only, I think it's Group 3 race. She was unlucky in the Oakley Plate a few weeks ago, got a massive check just when she was warming into the race and never got at him. Finished with a duck egg next to her name, but she's a lot better than that. She has run in Group 1s at 3 of her last four runs, so she's been up against the best company. Her form doesn't look flash if you just look at it on paper, but the form, I just think she's a big chance, and she's got Hugh Bowman on. She's $8.50 each way. I can't see how she won't be in the finish here, and I think she's a big chance to beat the mares in a Group 3 race. I'm also going to give you one for Sunday, mate, at Wyong. I'm going everywhere this weekend. Race 8, number 6, a horse called Princess Aliani. She won a trial last week in the fastest time in the morning, and she won like black caviar. She's drawn barrier 16 at Wyong. I just think she'll lead. She'll cross it and she'll lead on her ear, and they just won't see which way she goes over 1,000 metres. I think she's up to city class in Sydney, so I just get on. She will win. I think it's a soft kill for her. And I don't know what price I'm going to get on Sunday, but hopefully I've got bags of cash from Saturday and I'll just load up. They're not giving any fixed prices on that meeting yet, so I can't wait to get on if they do. On the bit special, mate, who are you on the bit with this week?
Moonee Valley, Dave, race 5, number 12, very choosy.
Yep, that's Friday night?
Friday night, yeah. Ran in a really hot race, a couple of race starts back behind Petite's Reward and Heatherly Manetti. Here at the Valley over the 955, she got back, ran on really well, didn't get beaten far. For an inexperienced horse, she then went to a benchmark 64 and won that really easily. It's had a slight let up, probably 6-8 weeks here into this fresh. Drawn a gate. It's been solidly backed at the 320 in the Smurden camp. Mark Zara on, wins for mine. I'm on the bit with, I'm going to Albury actually on Friday. Albury Cup, race 6, number 5, Tom Melbourne. Proving stayer, stepping up to listed class for the first time. He demolished the city class field at Flemington last start, beating a good horse in Devan on his merits. Meets a field here that's performed moderately at listed class. Some of them have run at listed class, but nothing outstanding. I think he'll take the next step, this horse, and become a horse capable of mixing it in the Brisbane Winter Carnival. Got Glenn Boss aboard. Love him or hate him, he again is a great rider in staying races, better than most, and he'll settle in the leading bunch on a track that will favour on-pace runners, and it's only a field of 9. To me, it'd be far too good for this field and progress on to better things. He's only $2 fixed, but he'll just win. I just multi him into whatever you like on the Saturday to get double your winnings, and I'd also take the multi into Fell Swoop, and you should get $12 or $13 multi going into the weekend. I think he's on the bit. Off the bit, mate. Who are you off the bit with? Morphettville Dave, race 7, number 2, Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Dave, I just thought he's 440 favourite there. Hasn't won past 1200, steps up to the 1550 here. Has never raced past the 1250, I think it is, and hasn't really looked like getting further than that.
Yeah.
It's got 58.5. It's drawn 7 out of 10. Likes to sort of race sort of on the speed somewhere. I don't know where he's going to get, but I would have thought as a 440 favourite and looking to try and get out to the trip, it might be a fair risk there, so off the bit.
Well, I laid Chautauqua in the Newmarket last week, so I just think I'm going to stick my neck out every week this week, this autumn carnival. I'm going to lay Extreme Choice in the Golden Slipper. As I said in the Golden Slipper preview, it was primed for the Blue Diamond 3 weeks ago. I just think this is going to be a much high pressure race than what he faced last 3 weeks ago in the Blue Diamond, where they didn't really go that hard early. And he's not a big colt. He doesn't have much scope about him, and I just think that may just tell at the end of a really tough slipper, where I reckon you've got to be a horse that can sort of get 1400 to win these slippers. That's why I think Flying Artie's a better chance than him. So I think he's a big lay, and at the $3 that he's on offer, I wouldn't touch him at those odds, so I think he's off the bit. So good luck on Golden Slipper Day. It's a fantastic day's racing. There's lots of racing Friday night. There's Albury Friday. And don't forget that Wyong special on Sunday, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers.